Tell you what.
All right, Dan.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Moneybags. I'm gonna make this more interesting for you. How about we double it? $2 million. $2 million says I beat your boy Dylan Dennis. I know you're gonna see this. I know you're gonna see this clip.
God damn.
You're coaching him. You're guiding him. He's definitely gonna show up, right? Yeah, fuck you. Both of you are all bark, no bite. $2 million that says I beat your boy. I will send you the contract tomorrow.
Wow.
But no, he's not gonna respond. All bark, no bite.
And like, there's something about like calling somebody out, which you immediately respect them a little bit more, like willing to put yourself out there for a fight.
A new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the King of Violence. He titles himself, and you know he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend that we're all.
When Logan Paul declined a bout with Conor McGregor, one of the most well-known fighters in the influencer industry, Joe Rogan didn't hold back this time. What does he do when he's given the opportunity to compete against a legend? Passes are politely done. Of course, we couldn't allow it to happen. When facing a real fighter, Gan collapses more quickly than a cheap deck chair, yet he still loves to brag about being a wall warrior.
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
Yeah, but we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber who's 0-1, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. $250 million is more than Tyson and Usyk combined. Not even close. For just Conor will make more than Usyk and Fury made combined.
Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. Is that fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, you know, things, but I don't say that anymore.
Smart.
Because you never know. You never know.
And we must not act as though this was only another game. No, this was McGregor, the Irishman who stole headlines and talked trash. Instead, Logan solidified his reputation as a fighter who dazzles but never dazzles but never dazzles. The bout might have broken pay-per-view records, given Logan genuine legitimacy, and allowed viewers to see if the guy could actually fight.
My only concern too is if Conor doesn't take this serious, you know, he kind of moseys in, he's partying, you know, I think he'd get fucked up. That's what's interesting to me. Now, if it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. No matter how you feel about it. The right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls. You know how Dana holds grudges. We know how he holds grudges. For him to be in cahoots with the Paul brothers in any facet.
Joe Rogan was unreserved in his criticism of Logan Paul's choice, mocking the way the YouTuber turned WWE sideshow star ironically created a plot that was even more preposterous than his fights. Why that only Logan, presumably because he's too busy honing his teddy bear wrestling techniques in WWE, could decline the bout of a lifetime against one of the best UFC stars ever at a historical stadium like Mumbai Wankhede Stadium.
I would assume Logan's very busy. I would assume that he probably didn't come up with this on his own. I would assume that someone probably came to him with this project. This is just total assumption, guessing on my part.
So we have text messages from behind the scenes. A lot of people, the people who were responsible for it say Logan kind of spearheaded the idea. And he says he spearheaded the idea.
So it was his idea?
Logan, to put it gently, Paul's claim to fame in the ring is a disqualification victory over Dylan Dennis and a split decision defeat to KSI. His reputation as a boxer has always been questionable. That CV isn't that impressive. Joe was quick to criticize the Danish fiasco, comparing it to a circus performance rather than a boxing contest. Cordingo in 6 rounds. Rogan, Adonis delivered less blows than most people do at a punching bag during warm-ups. And Logan's BBG is because Danis attempted to strangle him in the middle of the fight. That is an escape from disgrace.
Conor McGregor and Logan Paul are featured as part of the historic Visit India tourism campaign, so it's government funded, yeah? It's a clash in Mumbai, iconic stadium. The two will be rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million. That's more than to fight Floyd.
Logan, to put it gently, Paul's claim to fame in the ring is a disqualification victory over Dylan Dennis and a split decision defeat to KSI. His reputation as a boxer has always been questionable. That CV isn't that impressive. Joe was quick to criticize the Danish fiasco, comparing it to a circus performance rather than a boxing contest. According in 6 rounds, Rogan, Adonis delivered less blows than most people do at a punching bag during warm-ups. And Logan's BBG because Danis attempted to strangle him in the middle of the fight. That is an escape from disgrace, not a win.
Will be funded by the Ambani family dynasty, the richest in India. See how much they're worth? So 500 million has to be pennies for them. So India's Ambani family tops Forbes list of Asia's richest families. You know how rich you got to be Asia's richest family? Singapore, India's Ambani family tops 2017 Forbes list.
The proposed $250 million payday for each fighter is a staggering figure, enough to buy an island and never see a Paul brother again. Yet Logan Paul, the self-proclaimed internet sensation turned wannabe fighter, seems hesitant to take the offer. Either he's got more money than sense, or he knows how disastrous that fight would be. Logan is living up to his family's legacy. He's Jake Paul's older brother, and the two share more than just a last name. They both have a knack for cherry-picking their opponents. Jake, known for avoiding legitimate boxers until he had no choice, isn't much different. Logan, too, seems to follow the same pattern. It's clear that the Paul brothers are experts at creating carefully curated fights, ensuring they fight only those who suit their carefully constructed personas.
I would love to do a UFC fight.
Man, who the hell are you gonna fight, bro?
Who do you want me to fight, Mike?
Maybe Conor or something.
Jake Paul's challenge to Mike Tyson was far from random. At 50, Tyson is no longer in his prime, and while he remains a boxing legend, he's not the same dominant force from decades ago. Jake's strategy, echoing Logan's approach, focuses on high-profile names with minimal risk. Logan, inspired by his brother's boldness, has followed suit, facing big names like Floyd Mayweather, whose 5-0-0 record sounds impressive until you realize it was an exhibition match with no real stakes. Mayweather didn't train seriously, and Logan struggled to land a single punch. Meanwhile, Jake has been facing aging MMA fighters and basketball players, consistently avoiding real boxers. This trend highlights their strategy of carefully selecting opponents, ensuring a spectacle without real challenges. If anything, the Paul brothers have mastered the art of maintaining their brand rather than proving their actual boxing skills.
Yeah, with Jabberjaw.
Great, man. G and Jake Gyllenhaal.
That might work. I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, you know what was going on, brother. You know what was going on.
When Conor McGregor's name came up, it offered Logan Paul an opportunity to face a legitimate challenge, someone with real skill and credibility. However, Logan quickly backed away, following the same path as his brother Jake Paul would have. Why take on McGregor when there are safer, more lucrative fights to be had against opponents with either minimal boxing experience or those well past their prime? Joe Rogan dissected Logan's decision, suggesting it wasn't about fame or money. Logan thrives in controlled environments like WWE, where his actions are scripted, and in Misfits boxing, he carefully selects opponents who pose little threat. McGregor, on the other hand, represents a different challenge. Facing him in the ring would mean risking a potentially career-ending defeat that could crush Logan's brand. Rogan pointed out that Logan isn't a true fighter, he's a showman, focused on creating spectacles rather than proving himself in combat. The distinction between fighters and showmen is clear. Real fighters take risks, even when the odds are against them, while showmen pick their moments to shine and avoid real danger. The irony of it all was heightened by the fact that the potential McGregor fight was intended to be part of India's Visit India tourism campaign. Rogan couldn't help but mock the situation, suggesting that everything about the proposed match felt more like an orchestrated spectacle than a legitimate contest. Logan's reluctance to face McGregor only further emphasized the contrast between genuine fighters and those seeking fame through performance. But Rogan didn't stop there. He called the influencer boxing movement a joke masquerading as a sport and blasted it as a whole. Joe claims that Logan Paul is the perfect example of the shift from gladiators fighting for honor to influencers dressing up in the ring. It's similar to making the Olympics into a dance for TikTok. Rogan showed his blatant displeasure.
Did you guys see the Logan Paul Conor McGregor shit? Who wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training. He's in an insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these types of...
Logan Paul's entire persona revolves around marketing and theatrics. Joe Rogan pointed out that Logan's rejection of the McGregor fight isn't just a mischance, it's a clear sign that he's not ready for the big leagues. Logan talks a big game, but when it's time to back it up, he disappears. He's like a wrestler who bolts out of the ring as soon as the bell rings. Despite this, Logan continues to win not in the ring, but in the court of public opinion. Rogan acknowledged that Logan's choice to avoid McGregor could work in his favor, as he's skilled at spinning any situation into a narrative. Logan will likely claim McGregor's not worth his time or make up some other excuse, and his fans will eat it up like it's gospel. Logan has a unique talent for staying in the spotlight, even if he's not always delivering in the ring. Joe wrapped up his rant with a question that gets to the heart of the matter: when will we stop pretending Logan Paul is a legitimate fighter? Sure, he's a marketer, a showman, a walking advertisement, but a real fighter? Not even close. His connection to his brother Jake makes everything clear. This isn't about actual fighting, it's about spectacle. The Paul brothers have turned the fight game into a circus act, where the goal isn't respect or skill, but paychecks and headlines. So what can we expect from Logan? More of the same exhibitions and cherry-picked matchups. He's sticking to the family script. Don't expect any real fights, just real marketing. When Logan Paul rejected a fight with Conor McGregor, it wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a clear message. Logan doesn't want to prove himself in the ring. He wants to stay within his carefully curated bubble, where he controls the narrative. And while that strategy may help protect his brand, it also reveals the truth: Logan Paul is more interested in controlling his image than stepping up to real challenges. As Joe Rogan put it, if Logan ever decides to fight for real and take on a true test, let him know. Until then, we'll stick to watching real fighters. Logan's refusal to face a legitimate opponent speaks volumes. Is he too scared to fight a real competitor, or is he just content starring in his own circus? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see if anyone can come up with an excuse more ridiculous than Logan's.